Good morning, everyone. This is Tim at Ride Smooth Brother. Going to do a quick video on Cane Creek's new preload adjuster. It's all aluminum, high quality, and it can be used to replace the plastic original setup on your dub cranks or race face cranks with 30mm spindles. Comes with cool little instructions. So we'll work through it and see what we can do to try to give you guys an idea how to swap this out. So I've put the threaded ring back on the crankset. That's how that comes. It actually is down farther. You can see a little space in there. And the easiest way for me to remove it was to put the preloader ring on the threaded ring and screw it all the way down, and then use a tire lever and kind of pry it up. So I've got the preloader ring screwed back on there, and you can just get a tire lever, or actually once I got it up a little bit, I just pulled the whole thing off, pulling on the preloader ring. See how I've pulled it part way up there? We'll just remove it all the way. One thing you're going to want to do is clean the spindle, because you're actually going to have to put some Loctite or super glue on here to hold the threaded ring. That's the one that goes on the dub crankset. And you will put some Loctite or super glue to hold that in place, because as you can see it spins, it's loose, so that'll have to be stuck on there firm in order for the preload ring to be able to screw on and off without moving that ring. Use a little rubbing alcohol to clean the spindle. Once the spindle is clean, you're going to take a little either green 638 Loctite, I think that's what it is, yep, or super glue. And what we have is, I have both, Loctite super glue. It's just super glue, but it's from Loctite. So we're going to use that. We're going to put a little on the spindle down here, and then get that ring put back on and in place. So we've added a little super glue to the spindle, and again, that just keeps that ring from spinning once you put the preloader ring on there, just enough to hold it in place. Yeah, it seems interesting using super glue, but if you think about it, once you have this crank installed, you have the preloader set to where it needs to be to take up the play, that ring just, it can spin, and it's still going to do its job once it's extended. One thing to remember is don't get any super glue or Loctite on these threads. So while that's setting, let's look at the Cane Creek preload adjuster. Again, it's aluminum. Good thing about this is it comes with two different rings. This is for the dub cranks, and the other one is for race face. Also, the cool thing about the screw, the original plastic one has a 2mm screw hex, and that thing can strip out pretty easy, especially with a lot of dirt and grime in there. This is 2.5, so it's going to be less likely to strip out. Also has fine threads for better adjustment. We'll screw in there. I'm a big fan of adding just a little grease to anything that's threaded that gets muddy and wet on a bike. And as you can see with the screw in there, screwed in a little bit, you still have the ability to separate that notch a little when you're screwing it onto the threaded ring. These plastic rings, they do the job, but they're not very durable. That screw strips out once you get mud in there. And everybody's into customizing nowadays, so you can go pink or purple, red, blue, and black as well. These are all available at Cane Creek. We also have some on our store. These very ones. But yeah, aluminum, more durable, looks better, adds a little flair to your bike. So we've added a little grease to the threaded ring. Now that that's set up, it's pretty firm right now. We'll drop that preload ring on and screw it all the way down to where there's no preload on the setup. As you can see, we have it screwed all the way down to the base of the threaded ring, and this will be ready to go back on the bike. Once it's on the bike and you thread it to the proper preload setup, you'll tighten a 2.5 millimeter bolt, and you'll be ready to roll. The finished product